Hello and welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast for March 10th, 2018. Today we're talking Star Wars coming to a TV in a galaxy far, far away. The Grinch trailer. A Lost in Space trailer. So many trailers. Did you know it's Mario Day today? Also, everybody, Nintendo Direct. What a presentation. Stay tuned for all that and more on the Newscast. There we go. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast, where we talk about movie and video game news from the past week.
Ish.
Yeah, we really only do it for the past week because we can't meet up more than that during the week. Either way, it's like something happened, guys. Everybody, to the cave, assemble! Let's go. Either way, I'm Nick.
Chris.
Brian.
See, look, you guys did the order.
I hesitated
We
there.
had this discussion.
I hesitated.
Chris is always before me.
Either way, let's get to the news. First up, this was kind of big at the beginning of the week almost. Yes. Disney and Lucas announced, well, not Lucas himself, but Lucas Films announced that Jon Favreau, of many directing and producing things now, is going to tackle a Star Wars series on Disney's new streaming service.
Sure.
Have they said where this will
end
up in the timeline?
No. There's Jon Favreau is getting a series, and it's going to be on Disney's streaming service. So that's the thing, is I'm really hoping this streaming service hits Canada.
Yes.
You'd think it would.
I'm hoping, and that's the one thing now is, like, I know Canada's Netflix has a lot of the Disney properties on it, because they have those distribution rights, but how all that gets discombobulated.
Well, Disney rules the world, so let's take everything.
Well, and they went to Netflix down in the States, and however their contract was written was essentially like, oh, you can, we're done with you, bye, and we're just taking all of our stuff.
Yeah.
Like, too bad for you.
And we'll take.
And I'm really just hoping that's the Canadian thing works that way. Otherwise, the Canadian streaming service, if Disney does release it here, is going to be very subpar, because it's not going to have any of their movies, or it's just going to have all this weird stuff.
But because it's their stuff, though, they might give us more.
That's true.
And
make it have one universal streaming service, not separated by country.
And we'll see.
We'll see.
It depends on who owns all the distribution rights in each country, and now Netflix Canada owns the distribution rights to Disney stuff.
Yeah, they'll take it back.
And that's the thing. If they can take it back, they're going to.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes what do we get on this service? And, of course, how much the service ends up costing and all of that lovely stuff, too, because
$15 to $20
a month?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
I'm not in. And I love Disney. That's too much.
That's a lot of money.
Too much?
Yeah.
Netflix
right now is $10?
$13.
Is it 13?
No.
What? No, $10.99. $11.
11. Yeah, close to 11.
Something like that.
$11.
Yeah, but this is Disney. Even their movies in stores are marked up.
But that's the thing. I think they will run in. I think they will run into a lot of pushback if they go
too high. Yeah.
Who knows?
Especially if their target audience is younger. It's going to be mainly younger
though. Think about everyone.
Well, in a Star Wars TV series, they are starting series based on this stuff. That's why they bought Fox, was so that they could load up this streaming service with things like Family Guy and The Simpsons and. Catch all of these, R.
I don't know, but Family Guy seems a little too mature.
I don't know.
For Disney.
They own them now.
I know, but you're trying to put PG stuff.
You also have to admit that Family Guy being owned by the same people that now own Star Wars is probably a good thing for.
Oh yeah, they can finally make
Seth
more.
MacFarlane.
Yeah.
He never wanted to do that.
I know, he wanted. I know. I still love the beginning of that third one. It's like, we really don't want to do this. The jokes are really hammed in on this one. Even the lights go out, and they're like, "Oh no, we're doing another Star Wars." That whole episode was just like, oh.
Yeah.
I think though, if he had the option to and wanted to do it, it just makes it easier being owned by the same people.
Yeah.
And for a
Do
streaming
prequels.
and for a streaming service, knowing Disney, it'll be set up with, parental locks and this and that and everything else.
Yeah,
Like,
you'll definitely be
Disney
able to
actually
set
has
up.
Disney has a brand of it's not even a router. It's like an in between to your router. So you
Does it
can
need that?
you plug in between your modem
Yeah.
and your router, or from, depending on how your internet works, like I have the separate parts,
Yeah.
not the all-in-one piece of junk that my telephone company keeps trying to hawk on me. But or you go from the wall to this box to your modem router combo thing, and essentially what it does is it blocks websites. Like it's meant for as a child blocking catch-all
As a physical.
by Disney. So it's like they'll be down with the parental thing. So I think for them it's like if we can catch everybody, as long as it's, so maybe for adults it'll be, you want to watch Family Guy, what's the PIN number? And it's like, bite me.
The kids will know it anyway. So what's
And they would, well, you know what? I think if I had like kids and there was parental locks on stuff, my kids would not know what parental locks, like what the passwords are, because I'm me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think kids growing up with a lot of us being parents now, it's like, oh, we've got this down. It's not like our parents where it's like, what's a parental 1, 2, 3, 4.
You say that, but then parents just let stuff go.
Some do.
Some do.
But then that's
Yeah.
They're trying not
but
to
then
be
the kid's
hard
watching
ass.
Family Guy anyways.
Yeah.
Nothing's stopping that kid already.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I grew up, we didn't watch The Simpsons. We didn't watch, like I didn't watch The Simpsons.
Simpsons would be
So-
better.
But I didn't. Well, and I didn't watch obviously Family Guy. I didn't watch South Park growing up. We didn't have like that was not allowed in.
We
this
weren't
house.
allowed to, yeah.
Right, like that wasn't allowed in my house growing up. And I listened.
Yeah.
Now that didn't mean that if I went to someone else's house and The Simpsons was on, that I could not watch it.
Yeah. You're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like I think with us in parental locks, like I wouldn't have a 5-year-old playing Doom.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
If I had a 5-year-old, the parental locks would be on my Switch and all of my stuff
Yeah.
just to make
and
sure.
you would have a
that-
decent, like,
And I would
PIN
have
or something.
actual passwords and all that stuff. I wouldn't be sitting there like, oh, Charlie, look at my PIN number, 55555. Like, go,
yeah.
So that's the thing. And if it's Disney, they'll be the annoying side of parental blocks, where it'll be like, oh, you want to watch The Simpsons? It's part of our adult programming. Put in your PIN every time, and it's like,
Then I wouldn't go to them for
right.
that. I'd be
Yeah.
going back to Netflix.
Wow, but Netflix won't have a lot of that stuff anymore. Like,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
thing.
I'd
I
say
think, I
if
think
it's
Family Guy
taken
would
off.
still be,
And we'll see.
and that
We'll
would
see.
be still.
We'll see. But either way, so Star Wars is getting put onto this service, which makes it that much more appealing. And not just Star Wars movies, but an actual ongoing series
TV
with
series
Jon
with Jon
Favreau
Favreau.
in charge
I
of it.
don't,
think
has he
he's
ever
the big-
done a TV show?
Yes.
Has he?
Yeah. He's worked on and directed TV shows. I'm not
Which
sure
one?
if he's like
That would be my
done
concern.
bigger
Has
ones.
he, I know he's done movies and he's done.
He's
well
worked
with the
on
movies,
Friends and
but-
that kind of stuff, and Friends was on
Yeah.
TV.
Okay.
He
As
was on
opposed to
Friends,
just, he was
too.
on Friends, but he also directed episodes.
He helped,
of it.
yeah.
Okay.
Like he's done TV.
That's,
this
like I
is-
said, that'd be my only concern.
This is the cool part, but again, it's a series on a streaming service. So if you're going for those bigger budget series with a shorter, like 10-episode arc kind of thing,
Yeah.
he can pull
He can
that
pull
kind
that
of
off.
thing off.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think a Star Wars TV series, if you do get different directors in, like even Daredevil has different directors
Yeah.
with a main showrunner,
Mm-hmm.
you can get some directors in that it's like, let's test the waters with you in Star Wars and see how things go.
Yeah.
Good.
So you can
yeah.
start getting smaller directors in to try and see how they do with Star Wars, and they're like, "Oh, they did pretty good."
They did
Episode,
pretty good,
episode
yeah.
10. How do you feel about like a full
Yeah.
blown film?
There you go.
I'm hoping they do, like... It'd be nice if they went back in time, like, to, like, the Old Republic.
I think, and I
Just
think a
about
TV
that.
series about that would be pretty cool.
And if you go future, go past what this is.
Go way farther.
Go way far?
Yeah. I think by the time this comes out, you'll have episode 9 already out.
Probably.
So
And
it will be
you
a
go
long
past
time
it.
ago.
Well,
It'll just
Rian
be
John-
But and
a
if
time ago.
they're not going with the Skywalker story, you're essentially getting rid of all the Jedis, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. Rian Johnson is doing his trilogy thing, which obviously I'm going to assume involves a kid with a broom. He's just doing Mary Poppins in space.
Fantasia.
Doom, ba-doom.
Oh, that was another couple trailers that came.
Yes, there were another couple
Yeah, Mary
trailers.
Poppins.
Christopher Robin is clearly cracked.
Oh!
That looks.
We'll talk about
interesting.
that as we go down.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking forward to it.
But yeah, Star Wars on a streaming service, and like that's my big thing is I think we can start getting some smaller directors in and writers in, And I mean, my head
We'll
always goes
see how
to
it goes.
my head always goes to Kevin Smith, even though he's probably not going to be doing a whole heck of a lot for the next little bit.
Yeah.
You know, considering his heart is clogged, but but that's the thing is you can get someone like him in who is creative and is a giant nerd, and it's like, let's just see how you do
he
for an episode of a TV series based in this universe.
Maybe live action or animated?
Don't know. I'm assuming with John Favreau.
I know Clone Wars just recently.
I'm assuming with...
Was it Clone Wars?
No, Rebels.
Rebels
just
ended.
wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming with John Favreau involved that it will be live action.
Live action, yeah.
Otherwise, they'd get someone who's bigger in animation to do the shtick.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was talk of what's going to happen now.
Well, they had to wrap Rebels up because they were getting to a point where it was like, why is Ezra not part of the rebellion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so we'll see where that goes, which is exciting. Next up, trailer talk. Let's just all encompass this. So we have the Grinch trailer released, a full blown trailer, ish.
Yeah, it showed more than
that teaser.
You got Benedict Cumberbatch talking.
Yeah.
Which is good. I like.
Yeah, the animation looks
good. Yeah.
Exactly what you expect of Illumination.
Yes, and Illumination Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they do a good job of, it's Dr. Seuss as soon as you look at their stuff, which I think is the big piece of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was very impressed with the Jim Carrey, what they were able to do with some of those sets.
Yeah.
But whoever was directing and in charge of those movies at the time went too adult with even some of the, Cat in the Hat for sure. But even the Grinch, it's like the one neighbor who's obsessed with Christmas is dressed in the low cut top with the tiny little skirt, and I'm like, who was dressed like that in the 23-minute short?
You don't see enough of it. It was only 23 minutes. Maybe if you had more in the cartoon,
we'd find the skimpy
dress
who's.
It's a bad side of Whoville.
Yeah, that was the rougher side of Whoville.
They kept that cartoon.
Still love Christmas, but
a little bit more than others.
Yeah. So that was the thing is this one looks. He's still a dick, but he's a wholesome dick. That's
it's funny.
Yeah, he has a special place for the dog.
Yeah.
Doing the hairdo.
But he, obviously, even in the cartoon, he still had a place for Max, or else he wouldn't have had Max.
Exactly.
It's not like,
That would be an interesting thing, how they...
got to get... Well, and there is promo art of the Grinch as a kid, so we are going to get that story.
Yeah.
Which, again, is fine. I get extending a 23-minute word-for-word adaptation of a children's book to a full-length feature film.
And is it actually going to include the Christmas stuff?
I assume so, because it was counting down.
Or was this before?
It was counting down to Christmas on his clock. It was December 20th.
Yeah.
They were setting up for Christmas. I think the Who's are always just perpetually prepping for Christmas, though.
Maybe,
So
maybe it's Christmas once a month.
It could be
every month is at the end of the month.
I kind of hope they're not living on a snowflake. I hated that part of the live action thing. That one bugged me.
It did bug me.
I don't know why. You get Anthony Hopkins too to do the voiceover for that one, and it's on a snowflake, and I'm like, what? I am already angered. Why does it have to be on a snowflake?
In a hidden place somewhere.
Doesn't matter. It's Dr. Seuss. His worlds exist everywhere. Except Horton Hears a Who. They live on a dust thingy.
So what's wrong with the snowflake if they lived on a dust thingy?
Because it wasn't part of it, and the snowflake thing.
Every different snowflake is a different Grinch story.
No.
Multiverse Grinch.
So I'm really okay with them going from the young Grinch to an older Grinch.
Yeah, it'd be nice
His
to see
voice
the backstory.
did well.
Yeah.
Him interacting with the Who's, I think, is it's good to see that
It's
too.
just going to do things just to bug him.
Yeah, it's let's go cause some trouble today, and it's oh good, because it's not just a once a year thing where he's I'm going to steal Christmas. That was kind of I like that being the ultimate I finally got it. I know what I can do to really get to them. It's I'm going to steal.
Yeah, and that's
Christmas.
what probably would be. He does stuff, and
it's just not enough. And
this is the best way to do it.
He got a wonderful, awful idea right at the end there.
Yeah.
And the best part is they can get that actual, the curl of because I love that face from there. That chilled me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It still gets to me. You watch it as an adult, and it's got a wonderful, awful idea, and I'm like, God, they made him look scary. For a 23-minute kid's cartoon on television every Christmas. But then that counteracts the like one at the end where all of a sudden like his eyes get blue and the big
and the
real
big
smile
heart
and the heart grows and all that stuff. I think the animation's going to lend itself to all of this. Illumination, like we've said, like we were talking before.
Job.
They haven't really screwed up yet. I know people hate the Minions, but in all honesty,
I don't mind them.
You watch a Minions movie and you go, like
it's entertaining.
It's entertaining. Not all the jokes always hit, but entertaining enough to watch them and to keep watching them.
Yeah.
You know. And again, these are kids' movies. Gonna throw that out there. Kids' movies.
Yes. Even him getting dressed with the
puts his pants on. That looked the exact same. So we had that. Lost in Space for Netflix released a trailer.
Yes, that looks.
It looks
pretty
actually
good.
really good.
Looks really solid.
Netflix
decent.
is really coming out with a lot of stuff right now.
And see, there's part of the problem is because they release some stuff and you watch it and you go,
Whew.
that was bad. But at the same time, you get something like this where you're really going like this looks like a Lost in Space type thing.
Yeah.
They fit in the Danger, Will Robinson.
Well, even like I said, Jessica Jones came out.
I haven't watched that yet.
No, I haven't either.
Oh, good. Brian's like,
Gotta check
adding
Brian's
Jessica
list.
Jones to
But then they did a Luke Cage trailer.
Yeah.
Now they've done this trailer. There's
there's
like every month.
Norm Macdonald's apparently getting a talk show now on Netflix.
Every month it seems like this for the next few is something coming.
Well, and their
out.
app's been updated. So if you actually look at the Netflix app, there's a coming soon section now, and it is chock full of
there's
stuff.
like a ton of stuff.
Like
I thought there was more than just.
It's pretty crazy. So like if on at least on Android, I don't know about you Apple people, but there's like at the bottom coming soon, and it starts. So Ricky Gervais has a new thing coming out. Game Over Man, starring a bunch of comedians who do a bunch of stuff on a regular basis. On My Block, Lost in Space. The week of new Adam Sandler movie starring Chris Rock.
Oh boy.
Wild Wild Country. Stretch Armstrong is getting a TV show. Benji is getting a remake.
I
didn't
know about that one.
The Alienist, Requiem, Take Your Pills, Roxanne, another
they just have a huge
Boss Baby,
Boss Baby's coming.
A short cartoon series. Tabula Rasa, First Match, a series of unfortunate events comes out.
That was another one.
Yeah, Terrace House, Opening New Doors, no idea. A new anime called Children of the Whales, Steel Rain, Spirit the Horse, Riding Free, Season 4, in case you were wondering. Ida, Live, something about some cop who dresses as a penguin. The Mechanism, like, they've got so much stuff
a lot
coming on.
on.
That was, I think that was the other one, was a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
I don't know, my show was sure.
Well, and that's the thing, like, a series of unfortunate events, I'm like, sweet, and then this comes out, I'm like, sweet, and then Joel McHale every week, like, Sundays now, I wake up and go, I can watch Joel McHale this morning, like, brand new episode. Like, and if Norm Macdonald gets a talk show, even we were talking about it at work the other day, David Letterman's new show. Even, like, David Letterman, we were talking about his new show, and you know, there's people who barely talk about TV, and they're like, I cannot wait for his next interview.
Yeah.
And you're going, you know, wow.
Wow.
Like, that's pretty crazy that, you know. And even my in-laws, I'm like, yeah, David Letterman's, like, I'm interested in his next guest, because it's not someone I really know.
Mm-hmm.
But because he starts with Obama, moves to George Clooney, and George Clooney's interview was, like, actually...
It was very, like...
Very cool, because George does a lot of cool stuff that I did not know. Humanitarian work. And actual... Like, he does it. It's not just
he doesn't
him
send
writing
people
a check
or,
and, But I was talking about that, and she's like, well, David Letterman has a show again? And I'm like, once a month on Netflix, like, somewhere around the beginning of the month, he releases a new interview.
Yeah.
And it's about an hour long, and she's like, oh. And I'm like, well, it's, yeah. So, yeah. Lost in Space looks pretty stellar, though.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Some good imagery going on in there. Obviously, there's a family, the Robinsons.
Yes.
They are lost in
Gender
space.
change
They are lost in space.
Dr. Smith.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Figure obviously there had to be some changes.
Well, and you know what? The Doctor being a series, obviously the build up to the Doctor kind of trying to screw over the family.
Yeah.
Like, it has to
leave them behind and steal their shit.
It has to be a slow build up, though, and obviously, like, working behind the scenes to try and do these things, not just like episode 1, like, I am evil.
Yeah.
You got to build it up where it's like, I will just cut these wires today and see what happens. Oh, like, I can't let on that I'm the bad guy yet. So that should be interesting. Yeah. We did get a trailer for Mary Poppins Returns,
briefly,
which didn't really show a lot other than she's now, instead of using an umbrella, she's coming down on a kite, which is cute because the imagery of "Let's go fly a kite" from the original is there. You know, they got the chimney sweep that it passes, the guy in the bowler hat who looks like a proper English gentleman. Like, all the imagery is
it's
there.
It looks like Mary Poppins.
Yes. Other than that, we know nothing about the actual. Although I did love someone put it online because they screwed up their one of their posters.
Oh yeah.
So the thing goes, he stole it, and it's a picture of the Grinch. He saved it, and it shows Ernest like flying off the tree, and then it's like, and then it shows the bottom picture, and it's Mary Poppins Returns because it comes out at Christmas.
Yeah.
So they put Christmas right underneath, so it goes Mary Poppins Returns Christmas.
But
And I'm like,
did you see those posters people are putting with Mary Poppins Returns, and it's
Yondu.
Yondu.
That's not surprising.
I assume this is going to be in the future with the kids growing up. Those will be the kids.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know. It could just be another Mary Poppins story where she finds
Yeah.
another family and does her shtick again.
They seem to know her.
And then it could be.
Because
But-
I think at the end of it, it was, oh, Mary Poppins, you're back.
And it could be.
Yeah.
We'll see. And it could be the same family because,
I
like,
assume it
the
might
story
be the boy.
the story does continue and all this stuff. Like, there's more to Mary Poppins. They weren't allowed to make it because the lady who made Mary Poppins was really not happy with the original Mary Poppins.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unlike the movie Mr. Banks lets on. So actually, if you read everything about Mary Poppins and you watch that Mr. Banks movie,
Yeah.
at the end, she's at the premiere and she's crying, and they play it off as like, oh, her characters come to life, and everybody's so happy, and da-da-da-da-da. Like, she's so happy that her characters come to life. Apparently, she was crying because they butchered her story so badly.
Oh no.
Like, that's actually why she cried going to the event. She was never actually invited to the premiere. She pretty much just showed up and was like,
Oh, really?
what up, Disney? Like,
Yeah.
weren't even going to tell me what movie was coming out? Like, she refused to have animation in the movie. So them dancing penguins and happy songs was like, she was not happy. So
Very disappointed she was.
Yes.
So I think they kind of had to wait for her estate to be like, yeah, sure, whatever, do whatever you want.
Yeah,
with
go
her.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We don't care about our mother's story. Just do whatever you want. Like,
Give us money.
yeah, just pay us an exorbitant amount of money, and we will let you do whatever you want to Mary Poppins. Go nuts. So there was that, and then a very interesting trailer. I watched it without sound the first time, and I actually nailed what actually happened.
Which trailer is this?
Christopher Robin.
Oh.
I watched it without sound because it was in the lunchroom, and I hate sitting there with
yeah.
my, like, sound up. So I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, so I played it again, and I showed one of my coworkers, and I'm like, I believe this is about Christopher Robin having a manic breakdown. Like,
It looks like it.
And she's like, that is what it looks like. So then we watched it with sound, and I'm like, I believe we were right, because like it shows an adult Ewan McGregor, who's playing Christopher Robin,
Yeah.
and he's obviously having trouble at work, having to work the weekend. His family has to go off without him for their little weekend away, and he's all depressed. And all of a sudden, he hears Winnie the Pooh, which I have to admit, having Jim Cummings do the voices, like,
Yes. Oh, yes.
but then giving it that like
Stuffed
bear treatment is also like, I'm like, this is.
When
It looks.
when you see his little eyes pop out,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh.
And then it's like, and then the fact that like Ewan McGregor's line is like, I've cracked.
Yeah.
Like, even he's admitting he's gone insane.
He's got it.
Like, I'm just like, this movie's going to be amazing. and then Pooh just looks up and it's like, no cracks, a little wrinkled, and you're just like, oh, Pooh.
Oh, Pooh.
Oh, Pooh.
Oh, Pooh.
It was interesting.
I am intrigued by that movie solely because it looks like he goes insane and starts talking to
I
a
want to
stuffed
see
bear.
the other characters.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. I feel like Winnie the Pooh does look good, though. Like,
Yeah.
he looks fantastic.
Well,
Not
and
what
so,
I was expecting out of it.
yeah.
well, no, so like that's the thing, is the internet was very indecisive about like, well, why isn't he an animated bear? Like, why is this stuffed bear there? And we're like, because the actual Christopher Robin, the whole shtick is he had a
They're stuffed
bear
toys.
that he named after the bear he played with in a zoo.
Yeah.
And that's what, when I saw like Christopher Robin before I saw the trailer, I'm like, is this a movie about a kid who plays with an actual bear in a zoo? Because that's the legit
It's a legit
story.
story, yeah.
Like, are we getting the story of Christopher Robin from growing up as a kid
There
playing
is a
with
movie
a bear?
that already came out about that, I think.
There's a book. If you ever actually want a
Yeah.
really good kids book, it's called Finding Winnie.
Yeah.
And it's all about the Canadian soldier who brings Winnie over
Yeah.
Okay.
to the battlefield because the bear is named after Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they actually made a movie out of that.
And
too.
probably like that would actually be a decent flick.
Yeah, with a kind of like.
But I
it's
was
the
like,
true story.
yeah, and I'm like, and then they can't keep bringing Winnie with them everywhere because
he's a bear.
Winnie's a bear, and they're going
Yeah.
to war.
Yeah.
Although honestly, if you let that bear get a little bit bigger and take it to war, like they had that bear trained,
Put some armor on it.
like it was doing lookout work and all sorts of stuff with the regiment. There's pictures of them with the bear, like all
Okay.
this stuff. And I'm like, if you trained that bear well enough and it got big enough, boy howdy, you and a bear come charging over the hill.
Okay, with the amount of bullets they had, you could knock that thing down.
Yeah, but who's gonna shoot? You're just gonna be like,
At first, they did get that shock. We're like, "That's a
is that
bear."
a bear?
That's a bear.
They got bears.
1 inch sniper
I
shot.
know.
Yeah.
Um, so either way, they
Unless you
dropped
send
the
an
bear.
army of bears.
They dropped the bear off in the zoo, in the London Zoo, and that's where A.A. Milne and his kid, Christopher Robin, go and see the bear. And A.A. Milne's apparently a celebrity enough that he's like, my kid wishes to play with the bear.
yeah.
Oh, sure.
Because again, there's pictures of a tiny blonde kid in a cage, like in the pen.
Nowadays, I would not have.
What a great father moment.
Yeah. But I am George R.R. Martin. I wish for my child to play with that bear.
George, we know how your stories go.
Yeah, George, this is not going to work out well. So that's what I was thinking when they first announced Christopher Robin movie. I'm like a kid playing with an actual bear and then going through the whole story of like how Christopher Robin's story was told and all that kind of stuff. But I dig the adult Christopher Robin having to find that childhood whimsy and that kind
Well,
of
that's
stuff.
why I say with the Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Is because that's where they seem to be going with this stuff now.
Yeah.
Is the older stuff is more, if there were kids in it, these kids have grown up and they're
And that's
experiencing
cool.
the same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like how like at least Ewan McGregor and the character admit that he's gone insane.
He's gone.
He's
He's
seeing a bear.
he's talking to his stuffed bear again.
Like that's in Paddington, which I talked about last week. It's very natural that this bear
This
just
bear
shows up and
just shows
talks,
up,
and
yeah.
it's like he's
Everybody's
sitting.
cool with it.
Well, yeah, he's sitting in a train station at the beginning, and I'm like, all right. 'Cause
Would no one be like?
they showed the intro where the explorer finds the bears. They're intelligent, and he's like, oh, intelligent bears. This is neat.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're like, all right, so he's going to get to this train station. Everybody's going to like freak out. And there he is, just sitting with his hat on top of his suitcase, and the family walks by, and they're like, well, it was a bear. Huh. We should take it home. And I'm like,
What?
That's not my first reaction.
and again, it's Paddington, so you have to give it that sense of like it's a kid's movie and it's Paddington Bear. and
Paddington
this
Bear,
is what
yeah.
happens in Paddington, and that's totally fine. But I do like the fact that this one is he's going to talk to a stuffed bear
He's
only
like-
because he's a little bit nuts.
Yeah.
So
all of them are stuffed toys except Rabbit and Owl, right?
No.
no, they were
Is
all
Rabbit
based
a-
off. No, they
a
were all
stuffed toy
based
too?
off stuffed toys.
Oh,
They were
okay.
his stuffed toys in his room
I
when he
couldn't-
grew up.
For some
It'd
reason, I
probably
thought
be on a
Rabbit
Chest
was
or
in a-
something.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming the bear's not actually there, and just it's all in his mind at this point. So,
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah,
Or
probably
is it-
since he came up from
yeah.
behind him.
yeah.
A little creepy, like.
Ewan McGregor's just like.
He's really gone insane.
They cut to someone walking down the street with this guy just behind the thing, like, "Pooh, what are you doing here? Well, I'm here to help you, Christopher Robin." People are just like, "Oh God!" Just keep walking.
Yeah. Leave the crazy man alone.
But yeah, it should be an interesting flick, especially with them getting the voice work. Like if it's more than just Jim Cummings, and they're going to get the rest of the
All the
100
rest
Acre
of them,
Wood,
yeah.
and they kind of integrate it with the cartoon movies
Yeah.
that have come out more recently. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But people online were like, "Why isn't he a cartoon? Why is he a bear?" And they're like, "Well, because it was actually based off a bear." Well, then why does he have the voice of the cartoon? And it's because it's a Disney movie and they have Winnie the Pooh. Like we should all be happy that they got
Yeah.
Jim Cummings because
Yeah.
Yeah.
that actually helps solidify that connection.
That connection, yeah.
The cartoon is essentially what Christopher was seeing as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting like an adult who's
Adult version.
clearly gone nuts.
Yeah.
So
Stress.
well, and it was like you get that at the beginning where it's like we have to lay 20 people off and you have to
Yeah.
work this weekend and
Yeah.
I thought you liked this company and da 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 da.
Yeah,
Like
and they really stress him out.
it was very they put him into that situation where it was very. This is a stress-inducing situation where he's
Yeah.
clearly going to crack under the pressure of it all. Shall we move forward?
Yes.
Yes.
It is March 10th, meaning it is Mario Day,
Mario
according
Day.
to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because it's Mar.
Mar, 10, so
yeah.
Either way, they've done a couple things. So the big one, which you pointed out, is they've teamed up with Google. So if you go onto Google Maps today and you say, give me directions to here, there's a little question mark block at the bottom of the screen now, and you press it, and instead of the little dot that you become Mario in his cart.
Which is awesome.
Which, yes, there should be a lot of accidents.
People just be watching their Google Maps.
I turned it on last night. I've been sitting in bed, and I'm like, I wonder if it's activated yet, because East Coast had hit midnight.
Yeah.
And so I hit the button, and it was like, I don't see it. I'm like, maybe I have to go somewhere, so I'm like, take me to work. So it programmed me to work, and I hit the button, and it was there. So
You have to go somewhere.
Do you have to actually start driving, probably?
No.
You probably missed it.
Oh, there it is. Bow! Let's go!
Let's go.
So, give me a show like... Well, it would show your address.
Let's not do that.
No.
Let's not do that.
But yeah, it just shows Mario, and you can revolve the map, obviously, to look at Mario in his cart, but he's the one that drives you around the city. This is live
And
for
it's
a
a good
week.
3D cart. Like,
Yeah,
it's a
this
good...
Yeah, it looks really good.
We don't encourage throwing bananas or red shells, says Nintendo, at other drivers in real life.
That'd be great, though.
So really, it's just an extra flavor for your Google Maps. I always appreciate
Well, they
Google
did
and
one-
Nintendo are always doing.
Always,
There was
yeah.
another one or a while ago
Where they did something.
Yeah.
There was Pokemon a while ago.
with Google.
Yep.
Yeah. Where you could catch Pokemon on
You
Google
want
Maps.
you could so you could look through all the
Right,
maps
yes,
as you went
that's
around
what
the
it
world
was,
trying
yeah.
to like. You didn't have to go places. You
just had to find them.
just find them because
Yeah,
they were hiding in
yeah.
places. Mario poll. If you want to take a fun Mario poll, you can go to play.nintendo.com right now.
What kind of?
I don't know, a poll.
Okay.
It's going to ask you some questions. If you do that,
put
if you do that
Odyssey
kind
on
of
sale.
stuff, though, you can get a Mario 10-day wallpaper or a Mario Day wallpaper. Throughout the month of March, My Nintendo is offering a Happy Mario Day wallpaper.
Hey.
Go to buy.nintendo.com to get a wallpaper. You can also watch a 3-second video of the creator of, or one of the artists from Nintendo,
quick.
Yoshiaki Kuzumi, does a 3-second time-lapse drawing of Mario.
Yeah.
Happy Mario Day.
They need to put Mario games on sale.
Yeah, that would have been the better choice, but they didn't.
Yeah,
so
they didn't.
go buy Mario Odyssey and play Mario Odyssey, and Mario vs. Rabbids.
And Mario
Maybe
Kart.
they did put it on sale. I gotta check.
No, as far as I know, they did not. There's nothing, nothing crazy. There is more Mario-esque news on the Switch news panel
Oh, yeah.
today, but other than that, that's Mario Day.
Mario Day. Happy Mario
Happy
Day.
Mario,
Happy Mario
Happy
Day.
Mario Day. Don't crash while driving.
Please don't.
Please do
Please
not
don't.
crash while driving. And then I felt like this was the bigger
The
chunk
big,
of news for
the
the
A
big
little
week.
bit,
news.
yeah. I didn't
Um,
actually watch it. I read it.
and that's fine because you've got the gist of it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: is I wasn't going to watch it because my work right now had me doing other stuff.
Other things.
I finished that though, and unfortunately, while I was finishing stuff, I turned it on. And I was just like, and just stopped working and started watching.
Yeah, because it was about half an hour. Right?
It's
Yeah.
half an hour. We are getting for the 3DS, which to me is starting to get less
Why?
and less appealing.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah,
time
some
they're
of
like
the kids, they're like,
3DS
really?
news, and I'm like, oh man, why could that not be on the Switch?
Yeah, why can't they just put that
Yeah.
on the Switch?
Either way, WarioWare Gold, which I mean,
I was wondering.
that brought me
that'd
back
be
to the good
perfect to
old days
Switch.
of
Yeah, that would be a good party game.
That would
kind of.
kind of take over the 1-2.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they didn't want it on the Switch.
Maybe, but still.
But I
because
think
we
remember
had
that.
some good times.
We
on
I
this
did.
remember
game.
that thing.
we had some great times on that game.
Yeah. So WarioWare. So this WarioWare Gold is like essentially they took the best of the best WarioWare games
Yeah.
and threw them onto the 3DS as a console. Like
I don't see why, but whatever.
This is kind of following the footsteps of Mario Party 100.
Sure.
So it's they
Oh,
took the
yeah,
best
right,
100
right.
or top 100. They took the top 100 Mario Party games, put them
Put
into
them
a game
together.
again on the 3DS,
Yeah. Not on the Switch.
not on the Switch. So we get that. Again, anything that's on the 3DS news,
Should be.
my
on
opinion
the
is that it
Switch.
should be on the Switch.
Switch.
Yes, I totally agree.
Understandable. The Detective Pikachu. They
Sure,
really
it was
wanted
in
that.
development
They really
for the 3DS,
wanted
but at the
that
same
on
time, guess what? I doubt I'm going to play it.
No,
Yeah, I don't.
Tony will.
Tony will, but here's my thing: is I keep looking at these games for the 3DS and I go, cool. And like I've said before, I'll buy them.
It's a Pokemon system for me.
Well,
That's why
but then my 3DS just sits there. Like
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
My 3DS is out.
I go to my
Is,
Switch.
yes. Dylan Dead Heat Breakers Dylan's Rolling Western. They're actually pretty fun games. They're cheaper games, little indie type titles. It's coming out.
I thought Luigi's Mansion was coming on 3DS.
That is.
Whoa! I'm going down the list. Yo.
I don't have a list in front of me. I'm just...
Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser. So they released the remake of Mario and Luigi RPG, which was I loved that.
It was really good.
I didn't get the remake because again 3DS, and I went.
See, that one I don't care.
Really solid RPG game from ages ago. So the remake, so it did well enough. They are now doing the next, like another version of the game with all of these mechanics built in with this. So you also get Bowser Jr.'s story. So there's extra
Bowser
bits
Jr.
To, Luigi's Mansion 3DS remake. So they're taking the GameCube original launch title and throwing it on the 3DS.
That should be another one.
Yeah, I would have loved to have that on the
should be
Switch.
another
Like,
one.
I would play that.
So someone said it online yesterday, and I thought this was a good idea. If the Virtual Console is coming out on the Switch, and we are getting GameCube games for Virtual Console, they probably don't want to cut the market in half with that. So you will still get Luigi's Mansion.
Eventually.
Is there a 2 out?
Luigi's Mansion 2 was for the 3DS, which is why also the thought process was they had everything made for the 3DS. They just pretty much had to rebuild the original mansion and make the bosses again, and they were done. Because all the assets were there.
Yeah.
And if it released on the Switch, it would have to look absolutely amazing. Because Luigi's Mansion was gorgeous on the GameCube.
It was.
Like,
I
remember
was.
getting that launch title game going like, a Luigi. All right, like Luigi, let's do
Luigi.
this. And it's like...
It was a fun game.
One, it was fun, and two, it was gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous, going from again the N64 to the GameCube, and it's just like this machine is amazing. Yeah. The discs are tiny, and these graphics are amazing. So that step up was something. Going to the 3DS again, though, I would love to play it, but
I probably won't bring it out.
3DS. Either way, on to the Switch news, which was the bigger of the things. Okami HD.
Never played it.
I've never played it because it was always a
haven't.
PlayStation thing.
Yeah,
and I might do it this
doesn't
time.
matter. I've never played it.
Well, but that's why it was always a PlayStation thing, and I'm like, oh, Okami, cool.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but
And again, I've heard of it. It's supposed to be great. It's supposed to be amazing.
Really
they're
good.
adding some motion controls in with the Switch because
touchscreen, so you
and
can
touchscreen type controls.
do your art on your screen.
Yeah. Dark Souls Amiibo and Network beta tests, so we can all try out Dark Souls.
Oh, I guess we missed something. For Detective Pikachu, there's a new amiibo as well.
The big one.
Yeah, the big giant one.
We knew that.
we knew about the
Okay.
Yeah, that was just a reminder on there.
Oh, okay.
come on.
They're, every once in a while, they're like, oh, and just remember this happened.
Oh yeah, they
Just
did do
remember this happened. Dark Souls is also getting an amiibo.
that. Yeah, it's of the.
He's like posing and praying to the sun. So
Alright.
if you buy the amiibo, you can do that pose anytime you want to in the game.
That's all it does, though. You can just go.
I think it's a Dark Souls thing. I don't Dark Souls, so I really don't know.
I have attempted to Dark Soul, but that
Yeah, me too.
I am like everyone else and
Die a
got
lot?
frustrated with.
Yeah, me too. And this is where one of my coworkers walked in, and he's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, the Nintendo Direct. They're releasing news." And he's like, "Anything good yet?" And I'm like, "Well, Okami's should be interesting."
Yeah.
And then he came in while we were watching this one, Sushi Strikers. And he's like, "Okay."
Chop, 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 chop.
Well, no, it's literally like you're matching sushis and flinging them at your
Flinging the
opponents
plates.
and like all this stuff. It's
you eat the sushi off the plate, and then you throw the plates at your opponent
yeah,
to
it's a
like.
weird.
That is
looking game.
dangerous.
Well, it's a weird looking game, and he's giving me this look like you have this system, like you know.
This is just
And I'm like, it got popular enough that they pretty much everybody's making junk for this system
Yeah,
now.
a lot of
Now
indie
it's a
games.
part of like these indie games we really got to start watching to see quality of these games because we are gonna get the more popular a system gets, the more shovelware ends up on the system.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes.
Like
So,
PlayStation had a lot of that.
but the fact that this is getting advertised from Nintendo, like
they must think
it's a decent game. Like it's one of those ones we gotta.
At people.
But if it's a Tetris puzzle type something or other that you can play
Sure.
multiplayer and it's decent, then like it's a good game to have. We just know nothing about it at this point. So it's it says right here, fast-paced action game where you match colored plates and types of sushi to hurl tall stacks of plates at your opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Octopath Traveler, RPG coming from Square Enix. They have announced the release date for this, so it's a top-down RPG, kind of akin to their old Final Fantasy games on the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
There was a demo. I think you can still get the demo. So they released like 2 or 3 characters because you can pick which main characters you take with you.
Okay.
So the story changed. You can play the game over and over and over and over again.
Different endings.
And you get different endings, different beginnings, different this, different that. So it's finally got a July 13th release date, and they announced some new features and that kind of stuff. And also a new character. Yeah. Or 2 new characters they announced. So and each character has its own individual, like if you pick the Bruiser, to get out of things, he pretty much just punches people.
Yeah.
Like he has no other way out of things other than like you find an old lady and it's like, this old lady's in your way, punch her.
Sounds reasonable enough.
They all have, what do they call it? They have one...
Jobs or whatever they are.
Yeah. They did mention that you could combine jobs.
Yes.
Or something.
Well, and again, it depends on how you build your team. So you can actually build a team going like
dual classing.
Sort of thing. We're getting No More Heroes. They gave us more information on No More Heroes. If you've never played a No More Heroes game,
I've never played.
Oh my god, this guy who makes these games is insane. So Travis Touchdown in the original one, to save you had to sit on the can. It came out for the Wii, and they utilized that Wiimote. Like you'd get a phone call and you'd hit the button, and you legitimately had to like hold it up to your ear, and the person would start talking to you, and that's how you got jobs because you're a hitman.
Yeah.
And in the first game, you're trying to raise in the ranks of hitmanness and become like the ultimate killer. And he has a beam sword, and there would be parts in the game where to charge the beam sword with the Wii remote, you had to like the innuendos in that game alone are insane. This one they've showed off Travis Touchdown, Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. He ends up in a video game type thing.
Okay.
So it's this new video game, and he's trying to get to the top score. But to do that, he has to beat all these guys. So there's like there is a story mode involved, but at the same time, there's like co-op missions and a bunch of other like just mini games you can do together to try and like get high scores and all that kind of stuff. But zany and insane and all over like over the top.
So what you would expect from.
Yes. So I am stoked for that one. Next one, Captain Toad. Captain Toad is getting a game.
Apparently it was a game before.
I have it on the Wii U. It's a nice little puzzle game. It was cheap.
Yeah.
Which is why I got it. Because I'm like, oh, well. Because in Super Mario Galaxy?
I can't remember.
Whatever the Wii U... What was the...
I think it was...
What did we get for...
They had 3D World.
That's what it was. And so you got these little mini game parts where Toad would have to like climb a weird 3D cube puzzle and solve and get to the star.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were like, well, let's just make more of these levels and release it as a game. And I'm like, it's fun. It's a pick up and play for 5 seconds and put it away.
They were fun puzzles.
They were fun little puzzles. Either way, it's coming out for the Switch along with some new levels based on Super Mario Odyssey. It's also coming out on the 3DS though.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't.
So you get the Switch version and the 3DS version.
Just to see which one sells more.
Yeah, maybe they're still seen.
I think we know the winner of that.
Yeah. Undertale, if you've never played it, is a RPG that got a lot of its ideas and its lore from the Earthbound series.
Oh, okay.
So it's quirky and it's weird like Earthbound, but it's its own story. So it's coming to the Switch. If you've never played Undertale before, now's kind of one of those chances. I'm not really into Undertale. I like Earthbound, but people who like who love Earthbound love Undertale. It is one of those things where it's
sure.
You're just like, okay, I don't get it. I think I like Earthbound because I grew up and have played Earthbound. Or Undertale's one of those I'm just like, oh, all right, cool. But either way, good get for the Switch. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, good for you guys. Good job. Another good get, Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy.
I am a little surprised by that one.
It is coming out for everything on the same date. So July 10th.
So it's
coming out for the Xbox, PC, and Switch.
So it was like what the Spyro thing is.
Yeah.
It's PlayStation gets the year.
Gets it
then
first,
it comes out everything else.
But Crash Bandicoot on a Nintendo system. Handheld Nintendo system.
I already have it on PS4, so I don't need it.
I don't. Because I don't have a PlayStation 4. So I'm like, cool. Like that was a pretty big
That's a pretty cool,
one of PlayStation's bigger mascot type characters. It was PlayStation's mascot for
a while.
a long
For a
while.
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, is coming to Nintendo, and with the last bit of news, everybody's like, so, you know, like,
And that's where they think it would be funny that
Yeah.
it didn't come to the
Yeah.
PlayStation version of that.
version of that game.
When it comes to this.
We're getting Little Nightmares Complete Edition.
Mm-hmm.
A horror puzzle game, comes with all the DLC. You're the one of the little kids wears a raincoat, so if you have the Pac-Man amiibo, you can scan that in and he gets a Pac-Man
Looks like a
raincoat.
Pac-Man raincoat.
Yeah.
It's a puzzle game.
Beyonce is supposed to be very, very like
It looks
cool.
It looks very dark.
Like,
it looks very much like if a kid
a
had
horror,
a nightmare and you
yeah.
were in it, that's what
So
you
it's quite neat
Yes.
if you need to see the footage.
Yeah.
It's,
Yes, essentially it's like it,
yeah,
but
yeah,
from
yeah.
a top down, and you're still trying to solve
And no
puzzles at the
clowns.
same time. There's clown type
There's
characters.
there's
Oh, yeah.
things that like reach for you.
Yeah, you get
and-
the big arms that stretch.
Yeah,
like, it's very.
it's pretty creepy.
Um,
It's pretty creepy.
alright.
The next bit of news. This one was kind of cool. South Park Fractured Butthole.
Butthole.
coming out on Switch, and I'm like, but I have it on PC. But will I finish it on Switch? Like, this is my question now, because I never actually finished it on my PC. Because
Probably should.
well, but here's the thing: like playing PC, this is obviously where my PC is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sitting down to play here is not like
The most comfortable.
the
You gotta
most.
get a recliner back there.
That would kind of ruin the whole system of like us filming and stuff, having to move furniture free
Put it
time.
in the bathroom.
I really got to get my like Steam Link set back up and do that kind of
do that.
stuff. If I do that, I think I'd be better off.
Yeah.
But then it's a matter of like, I got to play that game, and this game, and that, like, you know, so many other
Yeah.
games to play again.
Yeah.
Either way, if you have not played South Park,
It's a good
Fractured
game.
Butthole, it is a great game. It is coming out on my birthday, which was the other reason I'm like, oh, I should just get it. You know,
or someone else.
no, that's fine. Because then people buy fisical versions of games, and I don't do
You're just
physical
like,
versions.
yeah.
So it's like,
Or
no.
they could just give you a Nintendo card and you go.
And then I could buy anything I wanted to, though.
But you focus it on it.
On
South
South
Park.
Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is for South Park and South Park
Only. If I
Um,
see you buy anything else.
The DLC is you can get the seasons pass. You can get all the.
Yeah.
It is the same game.
I don't do the DLCs for South Park because what's the point?
I bought the season pass because I got South Park when it came on sale. Like I
You got
so
the danger zone. Or
I have the danger zones or the
Room or
danger
whatever.
room or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I have yet to really do any of that. But there's 2 other DLCs that come after that. So one of them's not even out yet. So there's that, which is pretty cool because we were really hoping that South Park would make its way onto the Switch.
Yeah.
And it has. So for people who don't have a PC, who don't have any other
Well,
console, this is
I
like
think Tony said now he'll play it.
right. Like that's
Yeah,
the thing is
yeah.
all of a sudden you get these people who are like, oh man, South Park cool. Like,
Yeah.
like I knew it was coming. We knew. We said it should come out on the Switch. ARMS US and Canada online open tournament. They're still trying to make ARMS relevant.
Yeah.
So there are tournaments you can play when you go places. You can go 2 places, play in tournaments, win prizes because it's an actual fighting game. What they're doing now is opening that up to people online, so you can from the
Compete in the comfort of your own home.
from your home on your
Oh,
couch in your
boy.
underpants, you can compete in an online tournament and win yourself a trip to like the bigger tournament overall.
Yeah.
And I just laughed because in my head they were talking about this and I kind of zoned out because ARMS at this point I'm like whatever.
Yeah.
It's fun to show people when they've never seen a Switch before and they're like, yeah, ARMS, and you're like, oh, okay. But in my mind, that an open tournament, you're going to end up with people who somehow managed to get in because this is what they do at home. And they're going to end up going to this tournament in front of a bunch of people and they're like,
Oh gosh.
I think you'll draw. I think for those hardcore people though,
Yeah.
it will draw back a lot of them.
it will bring people back. And it's a cool idea if they kind of do more of these tournaments all the time just to keep the game fresh.
Fresh.
Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Good God.
How many editions do they have now?
This is the 3rd edition
This is the
because
3rd
Hyrule Warriors came out for the Wii U.
Yeah, I
A
remember that.
really bad version came out for the 3DS.
Oh, okay.
It did not run well on the 3DS because they tried to pack like 100 and some
Yeah,
enemies on
there's
the screen,
way
and
too
you're
many
slashing an animation.
sprites.
Like there's too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
The 3DS was like, kill me now. So they were like, well, we got this new system coming out. Let's just
put it on
let's
there.
just pump it onto there with all the DLC characters and more.
And then
Yeah.
So this is the
So you
definitive
get like
edition.
Breath of the Wild skins now. and-
2-player local multiplayer is supported, so you can each use a single Joy-Con. Includes all the DLC maps, characters, missions.
Yeah.
It's coming out May 18th. We've got the date for that. If you've never played it before, It's actually a pretty fun game. If you own it on the Wii U, you've pretty much done it.
Yeah. It's good hack and slash.
It's a very good hack and slash. My big thing for it is like the amount of characters that are in the definitive edition is just that much crazier than anything you're getting on the Wii U in this, because they're just like, who's a character in Zelda? Throw them in.
Yeah.
And you're like, why am I playing as Tingle? Like the guy who sold you maps in, Majora's Mask.
Why not? You throw maps at people.
Oh no, he balloons, like he goes in a giant balloon and crash lands and like all sorts of crazy stuff. So it's just like, oh man, okay, well, like whatever.
Whatever.
So there's that, which is coming out. So that's kind of nice. We got a date. Mario Tennis Aces, June 22nd.
That I am really looking forward to.
That could be a birthday present.
They have, so they've announced there's some new mechanics to it. You can do these like weird direct shots, which can break other people's rackets now.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So if you take 3 of those hits, your bracket breaks. If you don't have enough rackets, you lose that set. Yeah. You're done.
You can counter it though.
Yes.
So that you don't damage your rack.
Yes.
I would hope so.
Your racket. Your rack.
Your racket.
The ball could hit you too.
Yeah.
It wouldn't count.
One interesting thing I saw in the trailer: Chain Chomp is a playable character.
Yes, it's a playable character.
So
he shoots his chain at you?
He holds the racket in his mouth and dunk, dunk, dunk. And I'm like,
I would think it would be better with this chain.
Nope, it's in his mouth.
But
nope, it's in his mouth. He's also still quite large. I'm like, you're a very large target for me to smash a ball at. Thank you very much, Chain Chomp.
Yeah. I'd be a boss.
He's legitimately a playable character. Like he's yes, he will be a boss because there's tons of stuff. There's a story mode which you knew about.
Which you're gonna have to unlock.
Yeah.
And then you can unlock him once you beat him.
Yeah.
And that's probably what it is. But still, Chain Chomp being a playable character is
just crazy.
Weird. Motion controls have been announced.
Yeah.
They didn't do a good job of really showing them off. They're like, you can.
I think they did.
You can lob, or you can, this and backhand and lob and this. And, like most of the motions were this.
Yeah, they did. I think mention that it was for the like casual. Player.
They did say yes.
You would not be able to compete.
I could still lay down on my couch.
They said that the motion controls were casual with your friend, or if you wanted to get some exercise.
Yeah.
You need to get some exercise.
I don't need to get some exercise.
So I assume that's them saying, because they are going to have probably online tournaments.
Yeah,
I would assume so.
Yes, there's online multiplayer.
You would probably not do well with the motion controls in a tournament.
If Camelot and those guys do a good job of this, I remember Mario Golf on the 3DS, I was like, I'm like 50-50 with this game. I don't know what exactly I'm expecting. But they did. They had online tournaments that you could enter. So, like, every weekend they'd have a tournament and you'd have so much time to complete 18 holes on a very specific course with very specific, wind conditions and this and that and everything else. So everybody played the same course.
Yeah.
And you saw how you ranked up against other people. It's not like you had to go, online against someone right away.
Right.
Tennis, obviously, you'd have to find a match online to play against.
Yeah.
But, Mario Tennis.
I think that game is going to be fantastic.
I've never been a huge Mario Tennis guy. So
more sports games
so good.
with Mario.
Yes, because Mario is an all-around jack of all trades.
No, he got reverted back to plumber.
Oh, good. Splatoon 2 is getting version 3.0 update, so more gear,
maps,
some more maps,
guns,
that kind of stuff, more guns. Also announced was a DLC for Splatoon, so this costs $20 in the States, or $19.99. But it unlocks a new single-player campaign where you are an octoling.
Yeah.
So not a squid, but one of the octopus. Yeah. And you wake up
in a subway station.
It's a pretty hinky story, with no memory of what's happened, and you play through this story that kind of gives you a more in-depth story of what's going on in
Octoworld,
in Inktopolis and all that kind of stuff. And once you complete that and some other side stuff, you can actually play as an octoling in Splatoon.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they need something to draw people back.
People have been playing this game constantly. We're the only people who fell out because some of us did not get to the right rank so we could actually play as a team.
I'm sorry. I
might have been me too.
I was going to say, I believe it's the other two people at this table.
It might have been me.
I'm so bad at that game. I should probably play more.
It's more of a quantity thing to get to the right rank. Play a lot, and eventually you will get matched up against the right people where you'll go up in rank. Because that's how I did it.
You did get to ranked.
I
think I got to ranked.
I didn't.
We should work on that as a group because we
Okay.
should. We
We
should.
should-
Well, we
we
need
should
to
get
work on
into
a lot
this.
of things. With
We
the
do
group.
need to work on this as a whole. But either way, Octoling, so a whole new look, a whole new style, all that kind of stuff. If you get the DLC now, if you pre-purchase it, it's not coming out for another couple months, I think.
I can't remember.
The expansion or the new update comes at the end of April, and I think the DLC is in May. But if you buy it now, you get Octoling headphones, a shirt, and pants for your squid.
I'd have to get readjusted to that game again.
You would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember jumping back in and going like, huh.
This is something.
This is different. And then at the end, so the guy's like, well, thanks for watching. And I'm like, well, that wasn't too bad. And then he's like, we have one more thing to show you. Did you actually watch the trailer for this?
Yes, I watched the trailer.
Okay,
for
so
this.
this I thought was good because they start showing it, and I'm like,
I thought it was more
Splatoon
Splatoon
stuff, and I'm
stuff,
like,
yeah.
oh man. And then I'm looking at it going,
But the graphics looked like
there was something hinky about it, and I'm watching it
There's
going,
like-
there's something
they definitely
more.
invested into this like cinematics. I was
Yeah.
like, something big as hell.
And I'm like, yeah, that was my thought. I'm like, there's more to this cinematic. What game had? And I'm like, no. And then the lights go out, and I'm like,
Ooh.
all right.
And then she looks
all right.
back.
And then she gives the look back, and then in her eye, it
eye,
zooms in
yeah.
on the eye, and there's the Smash Bros logo. So that's the
Yeah.
big news out of this direct is Smash Bros. And I'm like, cool. So like 2020, and that was the other part was after the rest of the trailer, which we'll talk about. But after that, Super Smash Bros pops up, and then I'm like, okay, so 2 more years, like we can look forward to Smash Bros. 2018,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
They've apparently been working on it without
Apparently.
telling anybody.
Sakurai has been working on this silently. He tweeted out he's been working on this silently pretty much since the last game came out.
Yeah.
So when he was like, I'm taking a break, he lied to us all.
It was all
I know a lot of people are concerned that it's just
a port.
Now here's the shtick. If it is a port, we're getting a lot of extra updated stuff because the link they showed off when they showed the logo
when
on.
they zoomed in like that.
So the logo's on fire. We saw Mario, obviously.
Yeah, and they were
and then
just
it
like,
zoomed in
oh,
on the
like-
link, but the link was the link from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It wasn't our regularly scheduled link. So I mean, if it's an extra costume, if it's that kind of stuff, that's one thing. Obviously, the squid kids are in it now,
Yeah.
so that's
Squidlings.
obviously the squidlings being added is a new something.
Yeah.
So even if this is a port, they're clearly adding content to
But
the
didn't
game.
they add stuff to Mario Kart?
A couple new characters and that kind of. So that's my thing is it's still too early to exactly tell if this is just so people online the big thing
Yeah.
is like, well, if you go to the website it's Super Smash Bros. Working title.
And if he
it
has
was
been
just-
working on it,
If it was just a port, it would be Super Smash Bros. For Switch because that's
Yeah.
what the rest
Or
were. Super
DX
Smash Bros.
or-
For Super Smash
Yeah.
Bros. For
Yeah.
Wii U, Super Smash Bros. For 3DS.
Yeah.
He has been working on it for quite some, like since the last one pretty much ended. He's been working on this game, but the internet is very funny, and I saw someone post something, and it was like, I don't want this to be a port, but I want it to be exactly like this game, and I don't want it to do this, but I want all the characters that were in the last one, and I don't want it to have anything new, but I want it to have new stuff that changes the game, but I don't want the game to change at all, and I think we just have to wait this one out and see what happens.
Did they say exactly when or just 2008?
I am going to assume that because Online comes out this September,
It's gonna be
The
the
big-
We don't need to be in the same room to play. We can play online.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Because that's
Which
'cause
takes part of
Smash
it away
Bros.
from
was always
Smash
their big
Bros.
tournament.
but it is their big tournament game, which is
Yeah.
also large. The 3DS did a good job of online. Wii U did a good job of online, but no one played online because
Yeah.
there was no one who owned a Wii U, so that would kind of killed it. That's the point now, is if they're releasing their online service, and it's like, you pay us $20 a year for online, you get to play Super Smash Bros. Online, everybody's like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
that sounds
okay,
good.
okay.
That sounds like a deal.
So
So that's the big piece is,
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a September release to go in conjunction with
yeah,
their
at least
online
late
stuff.
quarter of the late year.
Late year, hitting for Christmas sales and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
November.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Black Friday and
Early November.
That kind of stuff.
Black Friday, Christmas, that kind of stuff. So now we can start the speculations as to which characters are in the... People
I
have
know
already...
IGN was trying to break them
Oh yeah,
down.
people have already screen capped there's an image from far away of like a bunch of
all the
silhouettes in
silhouettes.
fire, and people have already like screen capped that, and people have screen capped it in different moments. So one guy, It's like, this looks like a guy from Arms because he's really big and like, you know, he's got...
But that could be a good...
Yeah.
Oh, except someone's like, yeah, but if you back it up by like 0.20 seconds, you can clearly see Samus's shoulder and a break in between that person and this person, so it's Samus and another person, and it's gotten to the point of insanity online
people
already.
are trying
But Arms
to...
would be, I think, a good character.
And that's what everybody's like, you should be
Yeah.
adding an Arms character because it
Yeah.
is one of your new IPs. Like, get on that.
Get on that.
Link showing the Breath of the Wild Link, everybody's like, so you're giving us Link with a new moveset, please and thank you. Because with the Breath of the Wild, his up B, like someone said, could be his new Gale move where, you know, he soars up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he has enough new stuff
Maybe.
That they could change it.
where they could change up Link. Mario, obviously, everybody's like, get rid of the FLUDD, give us Cappy, do something along the lines of, like, he can start throwing his cap.
His
like,
cap or
Yeah.
something.
You can
like,
do that.
Yeah.
there's enough new stuff already. You
can
can
add rabbits
be
into it.
adding characters.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Well, and that's the thing. So now we have Crash Bandicoot coming out on the system,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "So Crash,
Yeah, Crash.
Didn't think they could do it with half the characters they've done it with.
Yeah.
Like we got Ryu, which
Yeah.
no one thought was
Snake.
going to happen. We've had Snake.
Snake.
Sonic was the big one
Sonic
ages
was,
ago, where all of a
yeah.
sudden it's like Sonic enters the ring, and it's like,
What?
but in my brain, if you can get Crash, that is the end of the late 90s, pretty much just encapsulated in everybody's thing, is Mario, Sonic, and Crash, because that's what it was. All those commercials were pretty much like
Yeah.
a guy in a Crash costume making fun of the other systems. Mario doing
I
his
remember
thing.
those commercials.
Sonic making fun of, like, that was
Yeah.
everybody had their mascot that made fun of everybody else's system, and it's like, can we get Can we get Crash for Smash? Crash for Smash. So that's the
Yeah.
big piece. Everybody wants Goku again.
Goku.
Yeah,
That'd
he's
be
been.
good.
Everybody's been wanting Goku since they pretty much.
Uh,
They had that.
could.
They had that vote for the Wii U game.
Yeah.
Like, who do you want to see in? And Goku was like the highest voted
Voted
person to
person.
get into the game. And they're like, guys, we no.
yeah.
Like just because you
They-
voted him highest does not mean he gets in.
Yeah. Like, because they have their own fighting game, they
But you
could
could-
care less.
You could.
You could.
Yeah.
Either way, Bayonetta made it in because of that vote last
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Bayonetta was the ad.
Bayonetta.
Yeah, and that she'll probably be a definite.
Obviously, with Bayonetta 3 coming out,
Yeah.
they're going to
Yeah.
want to do that. I'm hoping there's not 8 billion Fire Emblem characters, because they started
Like-
overloading with Fire
They
Emblem.
did.
Well, because Sakurai's part of the Fire Emblem
Yeah.
team, so it's like, ooh, we'll throw this guy in, and this guy in, and this guy in, and it's like, I don't know who any of these people are. So
think
yeah,
what
we'll
else
see
they
if there's the amiibo integration again. Like, we just have to wait at this point.
Oh,
for,
they'll probably do the amiibo.
Pokemons are in
which
Oh,
Pokemon end
they'll
up
definitely
in.
have Pokemon.
But do they add? Do they take away? What do they do?
Yeah.
Like, the Pokemon trainer didn't make it into the last
Oh,
game
yeah,
because he
right.
took too much memory, and they wanted the Wii U and the 3DS game to have the exact same cast of fighters, so everybody's going like, well, the Switch is more powerful, and if you're not matching with another system, we can have Ice Climbers back, right? Like, Ice Climbers?
Climbers?
Like, please?
Yeah.
Like, that was the reason you gave us the last time, Sakurai, was the 3DS was not powerful enough to handle Ice Climbers.
Climbers.
My Switch can.
I want Ice Climbers. I liked Ice Climbers.
So that's the thing is, like,
Yeah.
what do we get, what won't we get?
I
One
hope they
guy
keep
online,
Jigglypuff.
one guy online was very like, this is like, we only have 10 months for like total, because we're already into February, so like 10 months total. Well, March, so yeah, 9 months.
Yep.
And it's like, we have 9 months for them to start revealing stuff. Like the Smash Dojo and all of this stuff used to be the way that they pretty much got free advertising, and it's like, it wasn't free.
No.
You have to pay someone to write every single one of those releases. All of that content has to be written by someone
Yeah.
and slowly released. Like, it's not free advertising.
Yeah.
It is actually paid advertising.
Yeah.
And it will start coming. And we don't need a whole heck of a lot for Smash. You
No.
told us Smash is coming out. Most people are salivating.
Yeah.
Come the time when it's about to be released, you go, guess what, guys? We added this crazy
Yeah.
character. Everybody's going to be like,
Pre-sale hype. Say
right.
that.
Even if they say, and a lot of people are like, can we get a single-player story mode like Subspace Emissary again, like we had on the you know.
I don't know if that really needs.
I liked the story of the N64 version the most. So
Where they
far.
were just toys
They're
on
just
them.
toys and like.
I loved the Subspace Emissary more because they were their little statues and they got
Yeah.
trapped and they had to like come up and be like, and like Kirby walks up to one of them like, and then whoosh, they come to life, like the statue comes to life, and then all of a sudden you get this cinematic where Peach and, you know, Zelda and someone else are all in like a lineup together, like, we have to fight this person off. I'm like, this is just insanity.
I don't know if you need single player though.
Subspace Emissary was fun, like, and it wasn't like it detached from anything else. It was just a fun way to do stuff, and Sakurai didn't put it in the last game because so many people spoiled. They just threw the cinematics online and spoiled it. And he's like, "Well, if you're gonna do that, I'm not putting them in the game."
Yeah. So
he just made cinematics and no story, and everybody's like, "But we like the story mode." Like, it's honestly almost like a 2D side scroller.
Oh yeah.
With these characters, which I thought was fun. So I'd like to see something like that back in the game. In my mind, with the addition of the Squidlings and Link being different at this point in time, I feel like it's not a port.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be.
In my mind, that's me.
It's going to be so different.
I feel like they're going to obviously go off the same engine as 4, because they'd be stupid to make a whole new engine for this game.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to take the things that worked from Smash 4 and throw them into the game.
Yeah.
But I don't see an issue with that as a whole. A fighting game should do that.
Yeah.
I know that's what the concern is.
I know that is the concern, but even at the same time, if they took all the stuff from the 3DS, like all the game modes and all that kind of stuff, and all the game modes from the Wii U, smooshed them together, and gave me the characters they couldn't because the system was, like, the 3DS was underpowered, so you give me some Ice Climbers back, you give me the Squidlings.
Better graphics.
You give me a new Link, some upgraded costumes for everybody. I'm not going to complain.
No,
it's Smash Bros.
It's Smash Bros.
Falcon punch someone.
Yeah, and you will, because Captain Falcon will always be in the game. So they will not get rid of the original roster of characters.
Yeah, you telegraph your shots.
Falcon Punch!
They gotta get out of there.
The guy's just like, oh man, I'll just duck and dodge. It's cool. And yeah, obviously, as long as they don't change the game up to a point where it doesn't feel like Smash Bros. Anymore.
I doubt that.
And they won't. It's Sakurai. It's not like he's going to be like, we should try something new.
Yeah.
So, hey, Sisu.
Hey, Sisu.
But yeah, I would find it comical if Crash got into Smash before he made it into the
he never made it into
PlayStation All-Stars.
Yeah.
He never made it in there.
That game was a weird mess of a game.
Yeah, it didn't.
I liked it.
I didn't mind it. It was just Smash Bros has a weird way of making, like, even Solid Snake fighting Mario not look weird.
In a cardboard box.
That's fine. We're guys. Also, I consider guys to be an all-around.
Yeah.
Meaning you
people.
Either way, PlayStation All Stars was. It just felt disjointed. I think because like you have Kratos, and then Nathan Drake, and it's like I don't feel like you two are in the same league to fight. Like somehow Smash Bros makes it so all the characters feel like nobody is super powered or overpowered or like.
If you add Goku in there, you're going.
But it doesn't feel weird that like Fox has a laser gun and shoots Link.
Yeah.
And Link's got a sword and a shield and it's just like, what? I can take a laser blast. Like you're not like, this is weird. But I think it's because they're cartoonier.
Nathan Drake was a more realistic.
And I think that's the shtick, is Nathan Drake is so realistic, and in his games, I know if he, gets skewered by a spear, he's dead. And yet Kratos is sitting there knocking him around with some weapons and slamming him into the ground, and he's like, whoa, that was crazy. And you're like, you should be
it's
dead.
Like, Nintendo characters don't die.
But even, like I said, they throw Snake into it, and he didn't feel out of place.
That one kind of did.
But even, like his specials didn't, like, this kind
of... He went to a cardboard box.
But that's the point. Like, Snake is just goofy enough where he hides in a cardboard box, and you're just like,
okay,
I accept that. Like, it for me, that's, I don't know, PlayStation All-Stars, there was something just off about it. Not that it was bad.
It was just nice seeing all the characters together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's the reality of those characters.
It could be. I don't. There was something to me, like, I played that game, and I'm like, this isn't...
you were always a Nintendo person.
And I get that, too.
PlayStation...
But like I said, it's not that it's a bad game. There was just something about it when I played it that just, I'm like, something's...
It wasn't Smash. It was trying to be Smash Bros.
And maybe that's the other part, was it was trying too hard to be Smash Bros, but change it so it wasn't Smash Bros. And maybe that was it, because you had to finish them off with a finishing move to get the point.
No, you didn't have to.
there wasn't so much knocking off the stage. Like Smash Bros is pretty much like
I can't remember.
beat the living junk out of you, and then hit you hard enough that you go. Whereas PlayStation, it was build up to the special bar, and then catch them in one of those specials, and then you got the points for killing them with those specials. And I think that's the part that also got me, was it's like, this feels less of a brawl thing and more as a, like, build up my special meter and then just ba-boom.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Like, there was something about it where I'm like,
Yeah.
Crash probably would have helped.
I doubt it.
Just bring in some zany, like, you know, over the top.
Quirkiness and...
I don't know. And maybe, like, I don't know.
You could have been in Ratchet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Both those
Ratchet.
guys.
But that's what I mean. Like, I think they
Jack
were...
and Daxter.
I think they were missing people.
Yes, they were missing quite a few, but they were trying to go with the new
I get that. But,
stuff too.
and I think that's
and
where
now,
Nintendo
saying
wins
that,
it out.
They also
is,
bring
yeah.
Papa the Rapper, but
Right. But that's what I mean. Like, I think they were missing people that they shouldn't have been missing in their lineup of, like, if I'm playing a game called PlayStation All-Stars, I'm expecting
all
the
stars.
stars. That's like making Super Smash Bros. Because someone was like, guys, Mario confirmed. And it's like, someone's like, duh. And it's like, someone else goes, sarcasm, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah.
When is Mario not going to be in the Smash Bros. Game?
and Luigi.
We're going to get Luigi. The question's going to be, do we get Dr. Mario? Do we get those, like, clone characters?
I think you get different skins.
But
Not
see,
Mario,
here's
but-
the thing. Dr. Mario played differently than Mario.
Okay, but that's a different skin. So
And
whatever
that's my,
skin you
in
do-
my mind, you clear up that menu by doing something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if it's Mario,
Just
click a button and you'll
Yeah.
get to Dr. Mario. Yes, he plays differently. Link, keep clicking the button, you'll get to Kid Link, Toon Link, whatever other kind of Link there is.
Yeah, a lot
like,
of different links.
a lot of different links going on. Someone in that silhouette thinks they saw Breath of the Wild Zelda.
oh, okay.
So a different Zelda than we're used to seeing.
I still don't understand how to see anything in that silhouette.
If you look closely enough and you render it out, like you kind
Some
of bring
of them
some of the
can.
stuff up, people have claimed like there's a circle, like the round top that's short at the bottom, and everybody's like, "Hey, Kirby."
Kirby.
But then
Well, Kirby's
there's
got to be in there.
but then there's another circle with a tiny little bump, so Jigglypuff.
We had that Jigglypuff.
And I think I saw Bowser's shell. In that.
Bowser's shell's
yeah,
obviously in
yeah,
there. You can
He's
see
so
Donkey
big.
Kong, like you can see
Yeah.
the bigger guys, but then
The ones
people are
that are-
people are trying to tell the some of the other odder shapes.
Yeah.
Go Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong was in the last one, so chances are
Girl Kong.
Dixie,
Yeah.
maybe. I wouldn't mind more Donkey Kong characters.
Have the surfing one.
Funky
Oh,
Kong.
Funky
Yeah,
Kong.
Funky
he's,
Kong.
he's
He's
in the
gonna have
new,
this new funky.
yeah, he's in the new funky
funky
mode.
mode.
There you go. Funky
And
Kong.
everyone made fun of that.
For Donkey
like,
Kong Tropical Freeze, which is essentially the easy mode now to Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. They're like,
Yeah.
having problems with the level? Play it as Funky Kong, because he can pretty much not die.
Just not, and just like surf over everything.
It's like, Spike's a problem? Land on them with your surfboard. And it's like, alright.
Could go through this, sir.
Nope,
Whatever.
he lands on top of them, because he's Funky Kong.
But you had Funky Kong in the Super Smash Bros.
Totally, you could do it.
I don't know any other characters in Donkey Kong. But
Yiga Clan.
Cranky Kong. The-
Bananas!
the-
I don't think he had
Breath of the
Cranky.
Wild.
And then Donkey Kong just eats them.
Cranky Kong's just like, it's like, why does my character move? I don't move! Just
No, that'll be a
yells.
special where they bring in Cranky Kong and he knows you to sleep.
Good,
Oh, yeah.
good. Animal Crossing Villager hopefully makes a return,
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's scary as all hell.
Yeah. Our camera sometimes goes.
I know it goes funky because it's trying to, like,
Okay.
focus.
Sorry. I'll
Stop
No,
moving.
you're good.
I'll stop
It's
moving.
not the moving thing. I just need to play with the camera a little bit. But so yeah, that's the game now online is who's in Smash.
They could add anybody in there.
And do you just
Definitely.
in my mind you take Smash 4, you take that engine, you put it in the new game, you take all of those fighters because they're already built, throw them in. And Sakurai, hopefully over this amount of time, has pretty much been like, here's a couple new gameplay modes,
Yeah.
here's some new characters, here's some new, like, that's hopefully what they've been working on, is just take the roster from 4, throw
go
it
from
into
there.
5, build on it,
Yeah.
and keep going.
And with the Switch, you can add tons of
Well, and they had
characters.
DLC for the Wii U version, like, that's how we got a bunch of, like, Ryu was DLC, and so was
Yeah.
Bayonetta, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's not like DLC is out of the question for this game.
Screw DLC, just add everybody at once.
Well, and that's the
you
thing
gotta work
is,
your way to unlocking them.
well, and that's the thing is they didn't do much unlocking in the last one because they wanted to make it very tournament ready. So
everyone available.
Everybody was available pretty much right off the bat, and you're good to go. Which kind of sucks.
I think you work to unlock them.
But maybe if they do more costumes and that kind of stuff, you work to unlock those.
Cosmetics.
Yeah.
Maybe.
In my mind, and again, because Nintendo's big thing is they pretty much want to, like, after people have had it in their hands for a week, be like, okay, tournament time.
Tournament time, yeah. I do miss that aspect of games where you could have to work to unlock something like,
yes,
okay, get to this level, fight this guy, and I unlock him.
Yeah. I forgot what game. MLB The Show. Just as a weird side note, has gotten rid of loot boxes in their game.
Oh.
Yeah.
In
kind of the same thing where
well,
God of War is like, hey, we don't have loot boxes.
Yeah.
When should you ever have
had loot boxes? See, and again, Smash is the kind of game where and their way of unlocking certain things was in some of the originals was nuts. It's like beat this thing with 1 second left on the seconds timer. You can beat it at with 12 minutes and 1 second left. You can beat it at 11 minutes and 1 second left. You can beat it at 13 minutes and 21 seconds left, as long as that seconds hand is a 1. And you're like,
so could it be 10 seconds?
Nope, that's because
there's a 1 in the
nope. Has to be in the 100th position.
Yes. Okay.
The 1 had to be in the 100th position, and it's like I could totally dig them being like, you want to unlock this costume for Link?
Hard mode.
Do something like that.
Do something ridiculous.
And then they were always very good about it. Just play a butt ton of the game.
Yeah, play 100 games.
If you get in 100 matches, you'll unlock it.
Yeah.
Done. If you play for this much amount
play a game that long.
If you play the game for 100 minutes, you'll unlock the thing. Or you can legitimately go in, do the one thing, and unlock the costume.
Yeah.
And 100 matches, if you they counted as multiplayer matches, they counted as all sorts of stuff. So it would legitimately be like you'd be fighting with your friends on, the GameCube version, I think it was, and all of a sudden it's like you finished and the winner had to fight the other fighter. It's like, new challenger, and I'm like, you better fucking win. Like,
I think I had that situation and I lost.
Right, but that's what I mean. Like, you're sitting there going like, I need Falco. Like, this is the chat. Like, I see him on this. Like, I need Falco. You better win. And it's like, you can just. I don't play that character. Like, it is all you.
You better get that.
You better win though, because that was my 100th match. And he appears at 101 matches, 102 until you beat him. But it gets to that point where you're just like, we've reached 100 matches. Cool. We've reached 500 matches. Cool. We've reached so many matches. So I think unlocking cosmetics would probably be the way to go for Smash Bros. Because they want all the fighters unlocked right off the bat.
For tournaments.
I guess.
You know what? Honestly, if there was a button to toggle it, that wouldn't be a bad thing. I wouldn't mind. Like, whether you'd like to unlock characters, slowly, or just have them all,
unlock slowly.
Available to you. Because in my mind, it's way more fun to slowly kind of build the roster up and unlock certain characters and that kind of stuff. But I also get the aspect of Joe wants to get it day one, start practicing with
this
who knows,
one of the basic characters.
Well, but not one of the basic characters. One of the obviously DLC like Meta Knight or something like that. And it's like instead of having to play as Kirby for 50 matches to get a match against Meta Knight, here's Meta Knight, because you should be practicing with him day one so you can be the best of the best. Tournament ready.
Oh, yes.
Either way, the internet's all over this. So people are studying the copyright thing and the this and the that and everything else to see if it's a port. And it's like, well, it says copyright 2017 or 2018. Like that's different than the other ones. And it says HAL Laboratories, and the last one was Namco Bandai. And it's like, because the original copyright is held by HAL.
Yeah.
Like, someone went back to the Wii U version, they're like, it's the same copyright info, guys. Like, sorry. And it's like, but the writing's slightly different. And it's like... Or we can wait, it comes out this year. Yeah. Like, that was the big part of the trailer for me, was 2018.
Not 2020 or...
Because I've been used to waiting for Smash Bros. Games for my entire life.
Now you wonder what else is they're working on.
I know.
They didn't confirm working on new Zelda already.
But they say that as soon. Like, Zelda starts as soon as the next Zelda ends. Like, they finish one Zelda and they're like, on to the next one.
I'm waiting for Strikers.
Yeah, if Tennis does well enough, I'm assuming we're going to start seeing.
I think it will.
I think Tennis will do well enough. The fact that they've added the story mode aspect to it, I think, is the big piece, because a lot of people... I remember doing surveys, Because to get coins originally for Nintendo, which is something else that happened this week, is you can now use coins on the eShop. Your
I
gold
can't
coins.
get very much.
I don't know how many I have.
I bought a game because I got like half off my game because I had a ton of gold coins just sitting there waiting. But originally to get coins where they had real physical things, like I have enough junk around this house that came from the Nintendo Club when they actually gave you physical items. To get those coins, you had to put in a code because you bought the game, and it goes. Once you've played the game enough, it goes, okay, how many, like, what did you think of this game? You essentially did a survey about the game.
Yeah.
And I remember when tennis came out on the 3DS. And it was like, what do you think of this game? And I'm like, it's a solid tennis game, but I remember on the Game Boy Color, there was a story mode. That's what I played the game for. Like, that's what kept me coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've played your game, I've beaten all the cups, I'm done.
Yeah.
Give me a story mode where I'm building up a character and doing certain things. You've got me for months. And especially if there's online tournaments and I'm building up like a, you know, a generalized like character, not Mario, but a character. And that's the only part where I see their story mode and it's Mario walking around and I'm like, why Mario? Like, let me make a little dude. And his whole ambition is to beat Mario, the greatest tennis player known to man.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Game Boy Color games did, is for golf and tennis, your job was to build your stats and become the best tennis player to take on Mario.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. Like, it was almost like a Pokemon-esque RPG where you're like, I must become the very best. And then you face off against Mario and get trounced, and you're like, I am not the very best. I must train more!
I must beat Mario!
But the fact that they're at least putting a story mode in, I think is going to help Mario Tennis do that much better.
I am so excited for Mario Tennis.
Strikers I'd really like to see again, because that was a fun game that didn't get a lot of advertisement or a lot of love.
Then Mario Hoops.
They were in NBA Playground 3 for the GameCube.
The Mario Pucks.
Yes, Mario Pucks.
I've been wanting.
That's gonna be turned into something else. But
I've been wanting a hockey game out of the Mario people forever.
Yeah.
I'll take soccer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soccer's just the biggest sport in the world.
And that's the problem, is you want to appeal to
the world.
So many people with sports. It's getting there, but the second most watched thing at the Olympics was the women's hockey.
Yeah.
It's because there wasn't any others.
I know.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I would have been watching.
The third watched thing. But yeah, overall, the Winter Olympics, it was the women's hockey that was second most watched overall.
There you go.
Other than, I'm assuming, the 8 billion skiing events, which they just
oh yeah, well, they're just
Because someone's like, how does Norway have so many medals? And I'm like, 13 in cross-country skiing? And they're like, how are there 13 cross-country skiing events? And I'm like, oh, there's more, because they've like multi-medaled in a lot of these things.
Yeah.
Plus the biathlon, plus this, plus that. Those Norwegians really like to ski. Mario biathlon.
Just like those Netherlands people like to speed skate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All we have is ice and snow. What else do we do?
Yeah. I would love it if the Nintendo
hockey.
was developing a snowboard kids.
That'd be cool. I'd dig a snowboard skate game.
A real snowboard kids, not like
the 3DS game was junk.
Yeah, it was. It was garbage.
But yeah, so we're getting a Super Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah.
Big news.
Sometimes.
Big news. Sometime this year.
A lot of people were disappointed that there's no Pokemon Switch news.
I'm waiting. We'll get a Pokemon Direct.
Yeah, at some point. Exactly.
Pokemon will do their own thing.
Or E3.
Or E3.
Actually, I doubt it, because Nintendo hasn't been showing up to E3 that much.
Well, no, they do a Nintendo Direct for E3 where they drop bombshells. That's their big thing. Is they don't need a stage anymore. They're like, it costs us $5 to make these videos. Yeah. Why rent out the theater with the thing and all? We're good. We'll just film this video and
people will still
put it out on the internet.
People will still be like, oh!
And it's the bigger talk because they have no tech problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all sorted out.
It's all sorted because it's a video. Yeah. So if you have problems, you're like, guys, we're not talking Pokemon. The Pokemon game did not work.
Yeah.
They can make sure everything is polished, and by the end of the thing, all you're talking about is like, did you see the trailer for like the new Pokemon game coming out? Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming E3 this year we're going to see Smash, Pokemon, and online.
Yeah, definitely online.
Information on their online.
They mentioned that a lot in here too. Like ARMS is getting that server test.
Yeah.
They want to do it for another game as well. I don't remember.
Well, and again, those server tests are just a good way of going download a very basic version of the game.
Yeah.
Play it and enjoy it. Like that's the thing. Like the Splatoon test fires. That's how so many people got into the first Splatoon was. All of a sudden, it's like, you can play our third-person shooter paintball weird extravaganza for free for a weekend. And everybody's like, hey. So they play it for a weekend, and then they're
Yeah.
like, "That was fun, and I require more of
Yeah.
that."
I think it helps them test their servers
And
too,
it helps
see if
test
it can handle
whatever's going
everybody
on
or-
online. But like I say, I feel like the app that we all have for Splatoon is
Could
going
finally
to,
be coming into.
well, it's going to die or it's going to become something.
Yeah.
I feel like death is more the prominent. Like
I
Nintendo's
think
just
they
going to be like,
update it. Massive update.
they'll just call it the Splatoon app at this point and just do something else.
Nintendo App 2.0.
And if they do that and it's actually decent, they're okay.
Yeah,
But voice chat should go through the
it should.
system.
It should, you know.
The fact that they haven't.
We said this even before the Switch came out.
I know, but the fact that they haven't been
This is an
saying
issue.
anything about, because online was supposed to be out already, and they pushed it
Been
back
delayed.
to, well, they pushed it back a year.
Yeah,
So to me, that says
they're not ready.
the stuff we were doing isn't working, guys. Like, we got to revamp.
Yeah,
What do
they
people
did.
want? And they're actually trying to make
Do
things
that.
happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Either way, I think we'll find out more at E3 for Smash
Oh,
Bros,
yeah.
Pokemon, and
You wait till
online.
June.
I don't want to wait until June. I want it now.
Too bad.
Even though I just,
Yeah,
even
but
though I
you'll be
just
on
got
school.
this direct, and I want like you know,
You'll be done school.
so
You
either
want
way,
the next direct?
yeah, Smash Bros.
Hey.
Can I like download it now?
Pre-purchase?
Can I pre-purchase?
Not yet.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
No.
But I want to pre-purchase it now.
No.
But now,
No.
Take my monies.
take my money, Nintendo. Except for that Kirby game, I'm still not sure about that. I'm not sold.
I don't think it's $80 worth.
Well, but there's. Did you see all this
Yeah,
stuff?
the
in
new
direct
DLC
about- yeah, there's
and-
new stuff. Either way, thanks for watching the newscast.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. In about 5 minutes, we'll come back for the post-credit show where we talk about all the games we've been playing, movies we've been watching, and other sort of nerd stuff we have been doing. While you're waiting for the internet to recombobulate and do its thing, you can check us out at barrelrollnews.com, where you can find links to all of our social media and our YouTube channel with all of our previously viewed stuff. You can also check us out on Twitch, where a lot of that stuff is also saved. So you can just go to our website at barrelrollnews.com and check out
All of the
everything.
various links.
Just start clicking on things.
Yeah.
Especially the ads.
There's no ads.
There's no ads.
And we can't actually tell them to click on ads or we'll get in trouble.
You didn't hear me say that.
And we don't have ads anymore. 'Cause
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't display. We can't make money off of YouTube anymore either. So
Yeah.
So kind of ignore what I said.
yeah, I don't know. Either way, check us out and join us again in about 5 minutes time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye.